Hi, my name is Brandon with Conga, and today I'll be showing you how to set up a new Conga solution using our guided setup page. So first you're going to want to navigate to Conga Solutions using the app gallery in the far left corner here. And we'll type in Conga Solutions. You may or may not have any recently viewed solutions. If you use this button, you can look at all the solutions in your org. Today we'll want to create a new solution on the right side. And you're welcome to name this solution whatever you like. Today I will name mine Conga Test. And then you'll want to select a master object. This is all of the available objects in your Salesforce environment. Today I will want to use the account object, so I will start typing the word account, and it'll automatically select what it thinks you're looking for there. We'll press create record. And you'll be brought to your Conga solution record page here. Notice the name that we just have. And first you'll see the edit guided button that we'll want to use, but first we'll press create button. If this is your first time creating this button, you may receive an error that says you don't have any remote sites. If that's the case for you, you'll want to navigate to Conga Solution Setup using this same app gallery here. I have the tab over in this corner. And you'll just want to add these 4 sites if you get an error. Because I already have created solutions, I've already done so I don't get that error there today. After pressing Update button, we'll go ahead and press Edit. Once the page loads here, we'll get the same information that we had once we first set up our button. And we'll want to finish all of the required fields here. So we will need a sample account record. Today I will use BudgetWorks, but remember this is just a sample for this time. And I will click Save and move on to the next page. On the next page, we can add data to our solution. We add data to the solution using either SQL queries or reports. We do recommend building a Conga query, as Conga queries are Salesforce records that contain a SQL statement specifically tuned to work in conjunction with Composer. You can find Conga queries by navigating to the app gallery in the top left corner, typing in Conga queries. If we navigate to that page there, we'll see we already have one built, but you would create new if you wanted to build your own query. And you'll see I have a simple SQL select statement here, looking for the first, last name, and email. I do want to mention in the drop-down menu in the top right, we do have a Conga query builder for people who are new to building SQL statements. And we'll have more information on that in a separate video. For now, let's navigate back to the Conga solution page. If you followed my lead here, we'll press Edit again. And in the Gather Data section, I will search for my contact query. I'll press Save. And it tells me that I need an alias. This is a short name for the contact query, and I will just call it contact. Save. And here we're brought to the next page where we can add templates to our solution. Templates are files, typically Word, Excel, or PDF files that contain merge fields, and when merged through Composer, give you the raw data that's in Salesforce. Templates can be found the same way we found queries. I already have a template built called my invoice template. We'll add it the same way I added a query. Press Save, and you'll see Save successfully. And this time I'll need to click on to the next tab. On the next page, we can assign behaviors. And assigning behaviors is where we can use Conga Composer parameters in order to customize the functionality of our solution. For more information on all of the parameters available, I do recommend you look into our Conga Composer parameters documentation. But for today, let's say you had 3 requirements. 1, you needed to save this merged file to Salesforce Files. 2, you needed to email that merged file. And 3, you wanted to update a field on the account record to show that an email was sent. So for the first requirement, let's save to Salesforce Files. We'll navigate to save a copy, and we'll flip the switch to yes. And notice it already selects Salesforce Files, but you can choose other places within Salesforce that you can save. We'll press Save here. And for our second requirement, we wanted to send an email. I want to send the email to myself, but I do not have a test user already in my environment. So I will use the additional 2 field to hard code my email to the solution. I do want to mention that you cannot do this in the to field, as you will get an error. You can only use contacts in this field. So you would need to search somebody who is already a contact within your Salesforce environment. For this step, I'll click Save. And for the third step, let's say we needed to update a field on the record. I'm aware that the parameter in this case is the MFTS parameter, and you can find more about this in our Composer documentation. I do also want to bring your attention to the bottom here where you can see the SC0, SC1, and email additional to parameters. Those are the same parameters we just added to the button a few seconds ago. So we'll want to add the MFTS0 parameter, and we will also want to use the API name of the field we want to use. The field on my account name is included in report. MFTS0 is the parameter name. I'll press add behavior. And because it's a checkbox on the field, it's typically set to 0, but I will need to adjust the value of that parameter as well, and I will set it to true. We'll add behavior. And if you take a look at our documentation, you'll also see in conjunction with this parameter, you need a UF0 parameter, which is an activity logging parameter. And that would need to equal 1 to enable an activity logging, And we'll add that as well. And we'll save all of those additional behaviors, and we'll move on to the next tab. The next tab here is a collection step where we can add this solution to an available solution collection. This would be if you wanted to add this button to a Lightning component instead of a standard button on the page, and we'll come back to this step. But for now, we'll add the button to the page layout using the next step. We'll click the blue button here, and we're brought to a new tab, which is the account object within the object manager in Salesforce. We'll click our account layout, and we'll want to navigate to the button we just built in Mobile Lightning and Actions. We'll scroll to find Conga Test, and we will drag Conga Test down onto the page layout. You'll see I have already added it here. You will want to click Save. And now let's navigate back to our Conga solution in the previous tab we have open. And so now if we click the Conga Solutions tab here and go back to our Conga solution, and just like how I mentioned in the beginning when we were selecting that sample record, this is the sample record ID. If we click it, we'll be brought to that record. And just as I've been referencing, we'll be brought to the BudgetWorks account page, which has that is included in report checkbox that I mentioned previously, and you'll notice it is unchecked. And now let's go ahead and test our button. We'll go to the drop-down menu and press Conga Test. Give it a few moments here as it opens the Composer UI. Notice how the button automatically chooses the invoice template that I had hard-coded to the button, and that it asked me to merge an email because I added an email to the solution. We'll press Merge an Email. And after completing the merge, we'll be brought to an email page where you can see I have the additional to field from my email here. And we'll just need to add the required field for the subject, and we'll put test. You'll see that I have the same invoice template that's attached to that email. We'll press send. Back to the account page, and instead of waiting for an email, if we scroll, we can find that that checkbox is now checked because the merge was completed successfully. And that is how you create a new solution using our guided setup.